Yo, just a quick talk about what I would like to do in the future. Just some random thoughts about the what you're going to see the direction of my channel and everything to go. I just posted a 20-minute video on my main channel. It's called OXSN or OXSN on Rumble temporarily, and I was talking more, elaborating. I put it on my main channel, first video on there for a month because I felt like it was important to elaborate because I did say in a video 2 days ago on this channel that I'd been having suicidal thoughts and things, and I don't know why I put it in quotes, because I had been somewhat, and like I just want to make it clear I'm not like suicidal. Like there were like spouts of these thoughts, but I'm very far away from taking any action on that, and I'm actually doing very good now, and I have been for a few days now since I've made this shift. And the shift is simply just taking a more grounded approach to life, even the spirituality and everything. I've kind of like somewhat put spirituality a bit on hold because I want to pursue more creating the dream that I want to create with my life, the solid, somewhat more material dream. And so this is what I'm going to be talking about a bit here, is just the direction of what I'm going to be doing a bit more in the future. Is well, my channel anyway, I believe it will have a much more, again, I've been saying this for years, it will look a lot more like actualize.org. You haven't got to know who that is, but it's simply I'll be contemplating a lot more, generating more insights, and making solid, contemplated, valuable videos, and less videos like this just on a whim. But I'm going to be focusing a lot on, again, actualize.org has a video called Burning Through Karma, and the concept is basically instead of just like wish-washing away your desires, where you just like let go of your cravings and desires, like you actually go and pursue them. Um, so yeah, it's called Burning Through Karma, and this is like, I've got to be honest with myself about what I crave in my life, and it's like this spiritual shit, like I was so interested in it. I basically go through obsession phases, like Rubik's Cubes I mastered when I was like 13, programming when I was again like 13, about the same time, but butterfly knives, certain video games and things, spirituality, and it's like I go through these phases of getting heavily fixed, and it's like I've become the thing that I'm obsessed about, and that's what happened with me with the spirituality. And everyone around me was waiting for me to realize this was another obsession, and I was kind of just going, no man, this is who I am. And it is like, this is the core. Like I'm never going to drop, like when I say I've come down from the spiritual psychosis, the matrix will never take me back in terms of like the ideas fundamentally, meditation, psychedelics, like other cultures, philosophy, Alan Watts, Terence McKenna, actualize.org, Connor Murphy, like these people, like this shit has changed the whole way I see reality forever. And it was very good because now I'm much more conscious now, and so, like I really soak in every moment. Um, but like I'm alive for a reason. I'm not alive to just like blast away on psychedelics and like realize stuff. Like I want to now. I want to. I want wealth. I want to liberate my family from wage slavery and things of that nature. So I want to become a lot more practical because what you've seen over the past year with me, I started this channel, and then the beginning of this channel, I literally made my first video when I first started taking psychedelics again over the past year. And I've been taking them years back when I was like 16, but when I was about 17 or 18, I started abusing them, and that's when my channel became, because I made my first video while I was on psychedelics. And then you've just seen like a manic fucking god realization like episode of spirituality where I was like just having full blast, and they are mystical experiences, full blast on these substances. Like if you take 5 grams or 7 grams, I was taking very often, of magic mushrooms in silent darkness, or you don't even have to take it in silent darkness, you see more art than you can ever see in the 3-dimensional plane behind your eyes, and it's all created in your brain. So I was getting very influenced by watching Connor Murphy. I was even watching him on psychedelics, and actualize.org, I was watching him on psychedelics as well. And I went down this rabbit hole, and now it's ultimately transformed the whole way I see everything. Now, I've kind of gone through it. I feel like I've kind of burned through the karma of this desire of how I was so influenced and I became so fixated on this obsession. I feel like it's behind me. Now, for my channel, like, it's not like spirituality's the core, but, you know, I've got years, man. I don't have to focus on, um, no, like God realization now, like, because you know what I mean. I work in fast food at the minute. I've been unstable. I lost my fucking flat like 3 times in the past 6 months, and even though I'm not, and I haven't been depressed or nothing for ages, like if you check back at obviously my main YouTube is taken down at the minute because of YouTube's terms of service, which I will not be violating in the future. Not really. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, well, when I say not really, no, I won't. Not on YouTube anyway. But on Rumble, you can find my old content way back. And when I made my channel, I actually became like severely, chronically, manically, insanity depressed, like full blast. Like I was literally. This is when I was doing the live streams, smoking weed in my room. And I was doing like live streams on psychedelics, and you can see the manic in the way I'm speaking, and it was the self-sabotage phase, and I was working as a bin man. My mind was in self-destruct mode. Like I'd wake up in the morning and I'd just go, oh, here we go, and the negative thoughts start rolling. And I was living alone at this point, which is why I lost my flat, because the people were concerned about me, because I was living alone, abusing psychedelics, being chronically depressed. And so yeah, and then even though I'm not depressed, it's not like I came out of that full-blown shit. Like I did lose, when I was depressed, I fucking lost it, there's no doubt. Like, and half the time I am depressed, and like I feel like I might have somewhat burned through it at this point. Like I might have transcended that pendulum of being depressed and then not depressed or whatever. But I just mean, like, for a solid like 6 months at the start of my channel, I was full blown like in pain, like metaphysically, and just depression. Like I remember one of the things I was saying, like I was on the live stream, and like I said, like sometimes when I look in the mirror, I just feel like pain, like not like physical, but it's just like this like spiritual, like, and it's real. I know I'm not just being like Gen Z. I'm saying like, I'm literally looking in the mirror. It's just the way I'm thinking about it, but it just hurts to exist and shit. Like that was like some full blown dark night of the soul shit. And then I got out of the depression for the most part, but it doesn't mean that I like completely fixed the whole. I don't know. I was extremely ungrounded, and conventionally speaking, or relatively speaking, I did lose the plot. And the whole community just reinforced that I didn't. And I'm not going back to the Matrix. I'm not subscribing to fucking Babylon and CNN. But like, just because I know about psychedelics doesn't mean that I'm liberated. Like, the whole, like, just because we know about this stuff doesn't mean that we're awake and there's no problems. You know what I mean? Like, there's still other facets. Just because you have mystical experiences and you know that what most people know is a house of cards, the Western mind is a house of cards, doesn't mean that you are a holistic, healthy being. So that's it. That's what I've come to terms with recently. This is a big shift for me. So yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to be focusing now a lot more on just personal development, but it's still ultimately grounded in this insanity spiritual breakthrough that I had at the beginning. And I think I might actually make a new channel, because it wouldn't really hurt too much. And I'm kind of done with the sporadic content, where I want to really make a more proper setup. I've got a new house now, moved away, since I couldn't really maintain the flat because they told me no mushrooms and I couldn't, I don't know, but yeah, I was doing way too many mushrooms, I guess. But I didn't believe there was such thing. There was live streams of me saying that my goal was just to cultivate um, like a good living situation, and then just take like 7 grams of mushrooms every day, because they seem to just like they seem to make me think that I'm like on like the best path ever, and like and in terms of my consciousness and my awareness, that is the case, because like you don't need to pursue anything in the world really. You could just go back within your mind and like find fulfillment within, and that's what I was doing somewhat. Um, so then on the outside, it looked like I was a mess, and I was like, and everything I'm preaching, like I didn't embody most of it. I've been very unstable. Like even if I was awake or whatever the fuck, like the whole time my channel over this past year or just over a year, like there was never a point where I didn't desire an abundance of money. So now I want to go and actually pursue these things, and then when I have this solid foundation, I can pursue spirituality again in the future with a much more grounded approach. So yeah, I want to work on building a good infrastructure for my family that's around me now, when I was living alone back in the day, which is why my mind was manifesting so heavily. I want to help. I've got a new sister now. My other sister has just had 2 babies, and things like that, you know. And I'm more up for being a cog in a machine, where I just want to like, I want like this whole game here is meant to be played in all the different facets, and it's an adventure. So I hope you recognize maturity and groundedness, and just be careful, people, because no one really in the community, no one really seemed to have noticed this very much, or like even if you did point it out, I wouldn't have heard it. And ultimately, like, there's no obligation in terms of if I was losing the plot, like it doesn't matter. I can do whatever the fuck I want because I'm sovereign. So people kind of respected that. Like there's this guy called Love from the Galaxy, and he's like reached like some enlightenment, liberation, or so it seems. And he doesn't seem to give too much of a shit about personal development. He just like drinks alcohol and has a good time. And same with Alan Watts. Like you like this game, like, but that's what I mean. It's like I don't want to be Connor Murphy full blown spiritual mode anymore. Like I do. Like I love the spirituality, and I can't escape. Like every single day now, at this point, it's just like I just look in the present moment so much more, and I'm just like, I don't know. So I'm never, and there's still going to be awakenings naturally, and I'll still dabble in psychedelics, but I want to be much more integrated and much slower. I believe I'm going to take a full step back from cannabis and mushrooms and everything for quite a while, because I've reached this like sobriety that feels so healthy, and the idea of becoming grounded feels really good for me right now, because I've been so ungrounded for so long. I only want stability, and I don't have money to invest in weed and mushrooms and acid. So that's what I mean. It's like I want to build a good life in every facet. I don't just want awakening. I don't just want mystical experience. I don't want just reality penetrating and enlightenment. This is at the core for me. Ultimately, I think the psychedelic experience is at the core, um, and I think it always will be. But I want more than that, because it doesn't seem there's much that awakening can give me now. I went full, and I'm so happy I went into it, because I was healthy, I was young, and I had full blown like non-duality, like reality shattering experiences. But like even if I were to have them now, like I also want to pursue this finite dream. I want to create, like, you know what I mean? And if that's getting in the way of that, and if it's destabilizing me, and if I don't have the money to invest in that, I don't really want to turn it away. but somewhat I'm going to have to. And when I was saying the suicidal thoughts, what would repeat it, like basically every few days I'd sink into like this fucked up mode where I was just like in such a low vibration, low energy state where it feels like demons were just attacking me. And you can see I have a live stream called Demons. It's like 2 minutes long where I'm just in some like negative, I don't know, it's horrible. But yeah, I would like I knew that it was stupid and I knew how bad it was to say it to myself, but my mind, I would just like maybe I'd be led in the dark and like I just feel like I was sinking, drowning. The shaman swims in the same seas that the schizophrenic drowns. So that's the difference. I don't want to drown in these metaphysical waters. I want to keep my head above the water, swim, go in and out. So I want to have an integrated life on the surface where I'm not making people concerned about me. And then I want to do my diving into these schizophrenic psychedelic territories much more integratedly and actually bring stuff back of value. I don't want to just have a mind-blowing experience and then just do it again. Like I want to build like a formula and a method of writing down insights, and I'm not ready to do that right now. So but yeah, the suicidal thoughts, like I would just lay there and I just feel like I was sinking, and it just go, and I'd tell myself I want to die. I don't want to die. That's not true. I made a reel about how on my TikTok, on my Instagram, how when you say you want to die, in reality, often it's actually just you don't want to face this dream. Like you don't want to die. What you really want is a massive house and loads of sex and amazing food. That's what you really want. You don't want to die. You just hate your fucking situation. So if your situation was a lot shitter than it is now, then you would actually desire your position that you're in now. So gratitude is very important. So, and yeah, the thought saying I want to die, I did die. That's the weird thing. Like, and this is what Eckhart Tolle and Jim Carrey say, both of which are had awakening experiences. And the idea of the self, like, I want to die. Like, I say I died because my ego, my identity, this spiritual Colin Murphy identity has died. And that's what that was. That's why I was sinking for on and off for multiple months, is because I was trying to hold up an image of somebody who I was not. And that's what Jim Carrey says. You don't have, like, I can't deal with myself anymore. Well, good, because you don't have to be, because you don't exist. You're just like a thought, a concept, somewhat. But yeah. So the thing is I'm saying I lost, like, yeah, I'm admitting I lost the plot, but I'm still going on about the same shit I was going on about. So maybe this will create some confusion with some people. But hopefully I can do it in a more grounded approach, where I can make people understand that what I'm talking about is legit, and I don't want to scare people away, because again, it's more of a Leo Gura approach or psychedelic actualization approach, where you're actually a grounded individual who also does this, and maybe at some point I only do that, but it's like I don't, like, if I just do it and on the outside I just look fucking homeless and I don't have good foundation, no one's really going to want to fuck with what I'm speaking about. But if I can self-actualize fully and I do that, maybe people will be like, that psychedelic guy, he succeeded in the real, like, because people want material success. So I'm not going to inspire anybody if I don't have that. If I've achieved success internally, well, they don't want that. They want success, like, they have attachments. Anyway, that's it. I love you. My name's OXSN, OXSN. Thanks for watching, motherfucker.